Turning 40 and worried you're too late? You're not, but you need to act differently. If you've hit your 40s and feel behind on investing, retirement savings, or long-term financial planning, the first thing you need to understand is this: you are not alone and you are not out of time. But the strategies that worked in your 20s or 30s won't work the same way now. Your decisions from this point on have a much bigger impact, both positive and negative. And today we're breaking down the most common investing mistakes people make after 40 and how you can catch up while still setting yourself up for a strong, stress-free retirement that a lot of people in their 40s suddenly realize that life got in the way. Maybe you were busy building a career, paying off student loans, raising kids, buying a home, or simply living month to month. Then one day, you check your retirement account, and it's nowhere near where it should be. That moment is scary, but it can also be the turning point that changes your financial future. The first mistake people make after 40 is thinking they don't have enough time for compounding to work. While it's true that compounding is strongest the earlier you start, the next 20 to 25 years of your life can still create massive growth if you invest consistently and aggressively enough. Too many people switch to ultra-conservative investing because they panic. But playing it too safe can actually put your retirement at more risk. You still need growth, and avoiding it is one of the biggest reasons people fall short later. Another major mistake is not increasing contributions as income grows. In your 40s, your earning power is usually higher than in your 20s, yet many people still contribute the same percentage to their retirement accounts. At this stage, you should be raising your 401k or IRA contributions almost every year. Even moving from 6% to 8% or from 10% to 12% can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your retirement over time. If you're behind, these small percentage boosts are one of the fastest, easiest ways to catch up without dramatically changing your lifestyle. There's also the mistake of ignoring catch-up contributions. Once you turn 50, the IRS allows you to put extra money into your retirement accounts. But here's the secret most people don't realize: you don't have to wait until 50 to plan for it. If you're behind, you should be preparing now, adjusting your budget so you can take full advantage of catch-up contributions the moment you're eligible. People who do this often accelerate their retirement savings by tens of thousands of dollars in just a few years. Another mistake people make after 40 is assuming Social Security will fill the gap. It won't. Social Security is designed to replace only a portion of your income, and for most Americans, it won't be enough to maintain their lifestyle. Overestimating future benefits creates a dangerous false sense of security. You need your own investments, your 401k, IRA, brokerage accounts, or other assets, to be the foundation of your retirement, not a government program. One of the most overlooked mistakes is staying in the wrong lifestyle bracket. Lifestyle creep hits hardest between ages 35 and 50, when income usually peaks. That's when people buy bigger homes, upgrade cars, take more vacations, and start spending to reward themselves for working so hard. The problem is that every upgrade steals money away from the only thing that truly buys freedom: investments. If you're behind, locking in a comfortable but controlled lifestyle is one of the strongest strategic decisions you can make. You don't have to live frugally. Just avoid expanding your expenses faster than your savings. Another common mistake after 40 is neglecting health. It may not sound like a financial move, but medical costs are one of the biggest threats to retirement money. You can have $1 million saved and still watch it disappear if health issues drain your finances. Regular checkups, healthy habits, and controlling stress are not just good for your body, they protect your retirement. If your employer offers an HSA, using it aggressively is another smart move because it gives you tax-free money that can grow for decades and be used for medical expenses later in life. Then there's the mistake of not diversifying income sources. At 40, you still have a long enough runway to build additional wealth streams. A small business, rental property, dividend stocks, or even digital assets that create passive income. Relying on a single job is a trap many people fall into, but the closer you get to retirement, the more important it is to have at least one backup income source. Extra income in your 40s doesn't just help pay bills. It helps fund investing at a much faster pace. A big mistake many people make is delaying financial planning. When you were younger, budgeting and saving may have felt optional because you had time to figure things out. But in your 40s, planning isn't optional anymore. You need to know your numbers clearly, how much you've saved, how much you need, and how aggressively you must invest to hit your target. You'd be shocked how many people never run the numbers. And because they never run the numbers, they drift through the decade without purpose until it's too late. A simple retirement calculator can create clarity in minutes. Another common error is holding onto bad debt too long. Credit cards, high-interest loans, and unnecessary financing eat into the money you could be investing. In your 40s, debt becomes heavier because every dollar paid in interest is a dollar no longer compounding for your future. Eliminating toxic debt aggressively is one of the fastest ways to unlock cash flow that you can redirect into investing. Not all debt is harmful. A mortgage or low-interest student loan may be manageable, but high-interest debt is a retirement killer. And perhaps the biggest mistake people make after 40 is doing nothing. Feeling overwhelmed leads to procrastination. People freeze because they think catching up is impossible, but it isn't. You just need urgency. Not panic, urgency. A focused 40-year-old who starts now can still retire comfortably. Because your income is higher, your discipline is stronger, and your investing strategy can be more intentional than it ever was in your 20s. If you're in your 40s, here's the real truth. It's not about how early you start. It's about how seriously you take it from this point forward. Small changes create huge outcomes over the next 2 decades. Increase contributions, eliminate high-interest debt, invest in growth, stabilize your lifestyle, and build at least one extra income stream. Do these consistently, and your retirement can still be everything you imagine. Share this with someone in their 40s who needs to hear it. And subscribe for your accelerated retirement plan.